friend who won't find me on Twitter, on Facebook even. The donkey man rarely used a phone, let alone a computer. On this, Christmas Eve, 1990, he pulled his wagon into our driveway. He had 16 donkeys, 2 mules, 3 goats, and a whole bunch of chickens. And he was on a mission from God to go be with the Amish. He needed a place to stay for the winter. So, he put his wagon in our backyard, and that's where he slept. He drank a gallon of goat's milk a day. And he lived a fairly independent life, though there was one time where he went with our family to the movie theater to see Dances with Wolves. Now, just like Taylor in this Facebook group, there was an obscure line that the donkey man really related to. "Don't hurt my mules." And he laughed about it for weeks afterward. And we got to see why that resonated with him so much when one of his donkeys knocked over a beehive. The donkey man ran into a swarm of bees to try to save his donkeys. He ended up crawling to the neighbor's house. They took him to the hospital. The donkey man was okay, but 2 donkeys died in my backyard that day. There were good times too. Baby donkeys were born. Now every Ignite presentation needs a graph. I made this one myself. And it says, "Baby donkeys are cute." And so, I printed out a list of potential baby donkey names for the donkey man on the dot matrix printer, like Alfalfa and Little Jack. And it never occurred to me how strange that must have been for him to interact with such innovative technology. But I looked up to the donkey man. For my birthday, he gave me a donkey man hat. And when he left, I went with him. We traveled really only a few miles a day, and always walked. And by the way, the donkey man has a name. His name is John Stiles. And John always walked, never rode a donkey or rode on the wagon. We stopped often. We stopped for snacks. I don't know if this was for my own benefit or if this was just his pace. Because remember, God told him to go be with the Amish, but he didn't tell him how fast to get there. And so, at the end of my time with the donkey man, my parents really only had to drive a few minutes down the road to pick me up. A year later, we met up with him in Arizona. We literally followed his tracks to his wagon, and when we showed up, he said, "Oh, hi Adam," like he'd been expecting us any minute. And that was the last time that I saw the donkey man. But not for lack of trying. Everywhere he goes, small town newspapers write him up. Yet I've been able to find very few of those on the internet. He's not on Facebook. I have looked. He's not on Twitter. I don't think that either of these profiles are him. And he's met so many people on the road, he would have a lot of followers. And this hasn't stopped me from imagining what would it look like if he were on Facebook. How would I describe it to him? I might say, you know, it's not that different than just talking to folks. You know, the society columns in old-time newspapers? These are Facebook status updates from 1912. They were just published once a week. So I wrote a blog post mentioning him by name, and suddenly people from his past who had met him on the road were contacting me and asking me about their old friend. And one of them told me that he'd made it to Millersburg, Ohio, to be with the Amish. And when she last heard from him in 2002, he was going to head back out on the road, which means he's out there, folks. And while he may never friend me on Facebook, there is still a way that we can get him online. If you see a man with a wagon, 16 donkeys, 2 mules, 3 goats, whole bunch of chickens. Please, Flickr, pic, Twitter it to me, Adam D. I would love to get back in touch with my old friend. Thank you.